All right, I got another 380 gel test for you guys here today. Winchester Silvertip, 85 grain hollow point. Pay no attention to this back here. This was from my previous test, which was 40 Smith & Wesson. I'll put a link in the description of that test if you want to check it out, since they performed so awesome. But this is just going to be our catch block. We'll have a fresh block in the front. So as I said, Winchester Silvertip, 85 grain hollow point. This is Knox 10% Ballistics gelatin. Calibration today is coming in at 3.7 inches. And I'm going to use my Ruger LCP Max here for the testing today. Now, why am I using this? Well, not only is that the only 380 I have, but typically most guys carrying a 380, it's going to be a little micro like this. Yes, you will get increased velocity from a larger 380 and thus typically better performance. So I guess we're testing worst case scenario here today. But with that said, again, it may be the worst case scenario from being a micro, but it's the most common scenario as well. So went ahead and threw the block back on the ice in here in the chest. It's like mid 50s today. I do always temperature control this stuff. Optimal temperature is 39 degrees. So when it's warmer than literally freezing out, I transport it on ice there. So I'm really excited to test these out because I think it was last year I tested out basically an old box of these. So these used to come, they were called Silvertips, and this part of what I want to find out today is whether these new ones are different or not. They used to come in this big silver 50 round box, just looked like a generic Winchester ammo box, but that's how they used to get it. It didn't have like special snazzy packaging like this. And those were super old. I got a partial box for $5 off a buddy at work. They had sat in his garage for like 15 years, super inconsistent. But even with that, they had some of the largest expanding hollow points I've ever seen in 380, and I shot it out of a micro as well. I think I used a P238 for that, but it's still a micro. But they expanded massively and beautifully, probably the largest expansion I've ever seen for a 380. A lot of you guys will know it's difficult to even get expansion from a 380 at all, because a lot of times the hollow points, especially out of a little micro like this, they just won't even expand even in a bare block. So what I'm hoping is that this newer packaging, newer version, they do look a little different. So I believe it's more than just the packaging. So I'm hoping they will still perform about the same and give massive expansion. The only caveat to that is that when you get massive expansion through a 380, because the bullet weights are so light compared to 9mm 40-45, when you get that expansion, it creates more resistance, obviously, from it expanding to a larger diameter, and then your penetration suffers. But who knows? We won't know till we put them in the block. So I'm gonna shut up here and we'll go ahead and do that and see what these things do. So I have the chronograph there in front of the block, so hopefully we get some velocity readings. We'll do a single layer of t-shirt first, and then we'll do 4 layers of denim. We'll get the penetration depth, and then at the end I will also get retained weight and overall diameter of expansion with a micrometer caliper. Okay, so I'm getting the block set up here. As I said, we have these previous channels from 40 Smith & Wesson I just tested. Again, link in the description if you want to check that out. So we have a fairly unscathed block here. That was the catch block for the 40. You can see there I had to pluck those 2 out, but we have a mostly fresh block here for the entry on these 380s. All right, here we go. Single layer of t-shirt, and then we'll do the 4 layers of denim next. Well, my first shot came in very low. I probably scraped the table, so I took a second shot. That's not correct. My first shot read 905, so that 2205, that is not correct there. Must have been gunpowder flying over. I probably got a little too close again. Unburnt powder will fly over and you get a false read, because I pulled that first one low there. That's where my first shot went. And so there was my second shot just now, but the velocity should be in the low 900s there. Should get another good read through the denim. So there's your, wow. Yeah, see, it didn't go very far at all. There's your wound cavity there, and right there's the bullet. I'll get a measurement real quick. There's from the side. So yeah, this one, it hit very low here. Probably did hit the table, and it's clear back here because hit the table. So that's what we should be getting right there, which, man, that's like 7 or 8 inches. Hang on, I'll get it real quick. Yeah, we're coming in right about 8 inches there, 8 1/4 with the bounce back. All right then, and now the 4 layers of denim. All right, like I said, my first shot, apologize for not showing it, was 905. That one came in 997. I might take a couple more here just to see, you know, what kind of velocity reads we're getting. So I came in right there next to this other hole. You can see it's not touching though. So there's our entry. And where the heck is it? I think it's right where I plucked that 40 out previously. Where? Okay, I don't know how the heck I missed this. I tried to say it was in between the 2 blocks, but you can see it clearly there in that back block off to the left. So the video is edited to correct this. So through the denim, it must not have opened as far. There's your wound cavity from that. So thus, extra penetration. Let me do one more of each. I'll go back to the t-shirt. Well, we'll do denim first again since I already have the denim up. Then I'll do another through the t-shirt and then we'll check them out. And I keep hitting almost the same spot. There goes my tape measure and everything else. 952. So I got a 905, a 997 I think it was, and now a 952. Right there. So a little bit lower again. Same spot damn near it. Okay. And somewhere in there we'll find it. I'd have found it. So alright, so the one I'm pointing towards at the top right corner of the block there, that was the one that was just fired there. Not sure if that was a good shot or not yet because it came in so low there. But 878 on the velocity, so it would seem that those are pretty inconsistent on velocity. I got a high of like 997 I think it was, and a low of 878. That's over 100 feet per second difference there, so that's not good. Which I was mostly just taking these. There we go. That should be good. Other shots. Yep, it's right there. So I went ahead and flipped this one so you could see it, but it is going to throw the measurement off about an inch there because these are slightly tapered. So both through the t-shirt, besides that first one that hit the table, coming in between 7.5 and 8 inches. Okay. So this one here is your second shot through the denim, 23 inches. And then the one right there was the first shot through the denim, 19 inches. Alright, so I kind of misspoke here. I've figured out what's going on now, so I'm not sure how the video would be edited previously to correct these mistakes. But here's the very first shot that came in, hit the very bottom of the block. And you can see the t-shirt material in there. So it looks like this part maybe hit the table, whereas the top part was dragging in the block, so it actually achieved some expansion. And so that's the one that actually ended up right in between both blocks, that one right there. So then this one right here was the first good shot through the, lost for words here, t-shirt. This one was the second shot through the t-shirt. And then here's the ones we recovered from the denim. Again, not sure how this is edited to fix my screw up. But this one here, you can see it like tried to peel open, just the jacket peeled back. So that's the one that ended up like in the middle-ish of the second block there. And then this one here was whichever denim shot ended up towards the back of the catch block there. As you can see, nothing peeled or expanded or anything. And you can clearly see the denim stuck in the tips of them there. But as you can see there, we do have really massive expansion for a 380, especially a micro 380 through just a layer of t-shirt there. So we'll go ahead and get retained weight and the overall diameter. Wind's been kicking up all day. I'm probably going to be fighting this thing. This is a reloader scale, so it can measure like little tiny grains of powder. So whenever the wind kicks up, it flickers. I'm not going to count that one since it hit the table. So this first one that we captured through the t-shirt, 87.8 or 9. Keep in mind there is some gel stuck under the pedals, and I think, yeah, in the back there's some gel. Then the second one we got here through the t-shirt, 85.4.3, and there goes the wind making it flicker. I can't really get this crap out, so I mean your retained weight's going to be pretty good on these, obviously. 86.3 or 4 because of the denim there. 86.3. So no real point in getting measurement on these two through the denim because they didn't open up. I did find it interesting that this one seems quite a bit larger than this one. I mean, they're both really large, but there's a pretty clear difference that one of them opened quite a bit more. So got to go ahead and get measurements on these. So that first slightly smaller one there, 0.592, so 59 caliber. Again, that's really large. Some 9mm don't even open up that far. And then on that larger capture through the t-shirt, 0.646, so pretty much 65 caliber there. Like I said, absolutely massive for a 380. I mean, even by 9mm standards. The only problem is you don't get the penetration because they're so light. Even with 124 grain 9mm, that'd be coming in the 1100 feet per second range there, 200 or 300 feet per second faster. 124 grains being heavier, you would, with that kind of expansion, you would probably only see 11-12 inches of penetration through a 9mm with that expansion. So the fact that this is only 85 grain and it's going slower, that's why it's only coming in 7 to 8 inches of penetration there, because of that massive expansion and light bullet. But I think that's going to do it for today, guys. If you want to get yourself one of these scale, caliper, chrono, shooting bags, steel targets, and more, links will be in the description. If you'd like to support the channel, you could always leave a super thanks under the video. Again, link in the description if you want to see the older version of these that I tested. But with that, I want to thank you guys for stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.